Ira Epstein with your Morning Flash Update. And this update is for the morning of Wednesday, the 11th of October, 2023. And there's a lot going on today, besides this being the final day of the Amazon Prime Sale Day. Hope you bought something. I did, and I'm looking at what the average person spent. It wasn't very much money. I read a report, $38. I was more than that. I ended up buying it. And for my office here, I needed another smart TV, and I ended up getting one, but this one's a monitor TV, so it's great. So I got so many monitors, you can get dizzy during the morning. So we had some economic data. Why don't we start with that? Mortgage market index, up 0.6. You were up in the purchase index 0.7, and finance. I don't understand the refinancing up 0.3. Who's refinancing at these rates? But there are people, apparently. Then we get to the all-important PPI numbers. So the PPI final demand was up 0.5%. That's 0.2 more than they thought. September PPI ex food and energy was flat. That's very important. Then we get to the personal consumption up 0.5%, and the final PPI demand was unrevised in August. So how the market's looking at it is they're saying, hey, headline numbers, you got to throw those away. They're saying, just like in headline and CPI, that the PPI number itself was fairly flat. That is not cause for the Fed to raise interest rates November 1st. That's the checkbox I think they're going with, okay? FOMC minutes, they're going to come out at 1 o'clock today. The House of Representatives, in an hour from now, is supposed to begin voting. I don't know if they, or maybe they're doing it right now. It's 8 o'clock Chicago time, 9 o'clock Eastern times when they were supposed to begin. The odds of them picking somebody was put at 2% this morning. It has been decided that the two big contenders, Scalise and Jordan, if either one got the vote, the other would not fight it if it went to the House and was voted on and that person passed. Okay, but I don't think anybody's passing, and that's going to be the big problem, and that puts us right back where we were. It's looking to me more and more like a protracted fight. And as that goes on, each day that goes by, the borders doesn't get addressed, Ukraine, money for Iran doesn't get addressed. And for America, our big event is what about our getting the government financed? Can you imagine, just imagine, that you don't do anything? How could they even not think of an extension? Are you going to really not have people to tell you what's going on in Israel at this point, in Ukraine and so on? You got to have all your networks working. So the market will look beyond any non-vote and say it's a can being kicked down the road until they get it done. Don't panic if that's how the vote comes out. It is not going to close the government in this time and event. That's the way I think you have to approach it. Now, how I've been approaching the market is friendly in the stock market. You know that. If you saw my stock report that went off on Monday, you know that I've been looking for this to be where the trade bottom comes in that carries us into year end. You heard me, year end. Does that mean I'm right? No. You come out October 10th, and I'm telling you what I think at the end of the year, a lot of wishing and hoping and looking at events, but that's what I do. I look at events. Now, if you take a look at energies, they're all slipping back right now. So the question there is, what's going on? Well, there is an event that took place by Finland, and that's not a good thing. Underground, just like we saw with the Nordisk line, somebody accused of bombing that underwater. Well, this is another event like that. So there are people at work creating problems, and that will give bids into the nat gas. Maybe not the U.S. market as much as Europe, but Europe there. Bonds and notes getting a bid. You're off 11 points already from the high here and down about 7 right through there. Grains tomorrow you have to focus on. That's when we get very important numbers on how the harvest looks. Yeah, these aren't the final numbers, but they're the big ones because the combines are out there. The farmers are telling you what they're getting in their bushels an acre. You take that times the land mass, that the acres that we know were planted, and you're going to come to an idea. Tight, not so tight, excess, farmer going to hold, not hold. There's a lot you have to look at right through that. Very important. Now, in the kind of market you're in with the Israeli situation taking place, Ukraine, lack of a House leader, this is a hit-and-run market right now. So you've ended that period, that's what I think, of the declines, and now the shocks aren't there. So you go up a bit, you fail, you pull back very quickly, you don't go down that much, you come back. This is the land and opportunity for this study, pivot points. Pivot points will look at the prior day's range. It uses typically a 15-minute bar chart, is how I teach it at least. Some people use a 5. I like the 15. You have the formula probably in your charting software. If you're not using those basics that come on Schwab, Interactive Broker, they want you to buy the bigger programs, and if you do, you get this. You get a center line, and above it, the way the formula, and I teach you the formula, it's well known, you're looking for sell 1, sell 2, below it, buy 1, in blue, buy 2. And what you're trying to do is get back to the center line all the time. What I learned to do with it many years ago, because it is a cool technique if you're an in-and-out day trader, which I am not. But if you are a day trader, you tie it together, I think, with momentum, the slow stochastic study, and the game changes very quickly because timing becomes important. Is it leaning to the point where if you're at that second buy, oh man, that's the one that you want to go with maybe. It's a free series. It goes along with my indicator series called a Rune Indicator. That is also free to you. So if you want to see the way that I teach, it's a video series. Go to iraepstein.com. Where is it? Free offers on our website. You can move your cursor here, and while there, choose other things for yourself. I'm Ira, trying to figure out what other special report I'm now going to do. I'm thinking about it. I'm not ready to do it. And I'm debating when we're going to hold our next live webinar, so I'm putting that together for you as well. In the meantime, you have a great trading day. I'll see you at the end of the day with the market wrap-ups. Take care.